Hello everyone, this is Athar Naveed and I'm here to show you a demonstration of a website created by me as a front-end project for Coding Ninjas. This website helps the user to find the details of movies. For example, we can see here there are multiple lists of movies, suggestions visible here. I can choose any of them or I can type a movie from my end and then I can search for it and it will show me the list of movies matching the similar name. I can also add them to my favorites, which I'll show you here later on. When I'm clicking on add to favorite button, it will add the list, add the details of the movie to my favorites list. I can also click on the movie tile, which will then show me the details of the movie. Okay, so the next thing to be checked there is this favorite button. I've not created this. Actually, I downloaded this star image from the web and pasted it here. So when clicking on this, it takes us to the list of favorite movies or series that we have already added. And यहाँ पे हमने एक remove from favorites button भी बना रखा है. इस पे क्लिक करने से ये list of favorites में से remove कर देता है. So this is basically how the working of this web application. Now we'll move to the code part. So the HTML part is majorly divided into two sections. First one is this nav bar, and the second one is this container part. The nav bar contains everything that is there in the navigation bar of the website. For example, this logo section and the input space and the button to search movies and the series and the favorite icon through which we can see the list of favorites that we have added. Next, we have the CSS for this, but there is the CSS part, but we won't be discussing much since I need to keep this video short for than 5 minutes. So we'll mostly be focusing on the JavaScript part. First of all, we have this suggestion function. It actually helps in the suggestion function actually helps in providing the suggestion for the movies when we are searching for it. For example, like, yeah, this list of suggestion is being visible here by this function. The try catch is being used to handle any unexpected error, and we have used async await. The fetch function calls this API, and this API is giving the list of suggestion of movies, which is then being shown on the website using DOM manipulation. Then we are creating DOM objects of the most used HTML paths. We have also created this empty array by the name fav array. This array will be storing the list of movies that we are adding to favorites, movies or series. And after that, this get detail function, this is an async function. What it does is actually it is calling the main API that we received. And this API will return us an array of movies. So this function is returning the array of movies, which will be used later on. We'll see here. So whenever this function will be called, it will return us the array of movies. Then in the search button, we have added an event listener since everything is being triggered through this once the search button is clicked. So most part of the code is here. For example, first of all, this get details function, which returns the array of movie is being triggered because once the user inputs the name of the movie and then clicks on the search button, then we need to search for that particular movie. So the get detail function is being triggered here. Also, we need to check if the returning array, the array of movies that is being returned to us through the API, does it actually contain something or not? So if the length of the array is 0, then we'll give an error on the screen that oops, no result found or something, whatever we can show as an error. And if it does have something in it, if the array length is more than 1, that means it is having some results. So we will be creating cards to show the name of the movie, the image of the, or we call it the banner of the movie poster, and things like that. Those details that we need to show on the card section is created here. Okay, so next we have this favorite DOM object. So this is that favorite icon. Clicking on which it shows us the what is added in our favorite list. So we have added an event listener to it, which in turn calls an update favorite function. So this favorite function does nothing, but it checks if the fav array that we created earlier, if it contains anything. If it does that, then it will create separate cards for all the movies that are inside of it. And if the fav array is empty, then it will simply show us this screen, which will say no favorites yet. Also, since we have to add that remove from favorite button, so for that we have again added an event listener to that particular button which will check it will not check actually. Once we click on it, it will remove that particular movie and then again update that the list of favorite arrays through this update favorite function. So we are calling it again here just to render the new changes. So next we have this create movie cards. It actually helps in creating the card of each movie. When we get the data from the API, we have a full array, and for each item in the array, it is creating the card for the movie as we saw in the earlier demonstration. And the next function is show details. What it does is when we click on a particular movie, you see when you click on the movie, the banner of the poster gets enlarged, and more details about that particular movie is shown on the screen. So that thing is handled by the show detail function.